Welcome to Sideline Sports Podcast. I am the host, Alex Naveja, and if you're not on the sideline, it's not Sideline Sports Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Sideline Sports Podcast. I am your host, Alex Naveja, and with me today is Mitch Dominguez. It's been a little while that we've seen each other. Mitch, how you doing today? And thank you so much for being on the show.
Good. Staying busy as always. Still working and providing meals in the kitchen, so that's keeping us busy.
Keeping everybody with food, whoever needs food, still purchasing meals and such, especially going through this COVID-19 time. But before we get started with you, Mish, this episode of Sideline Sports Podcast was brought to you by Lean Mean Meals. Make sure to get your meal prep done with Mitch Dominguez today. He has you with your breakfast, your lunch, and even with your dinner. And he also has you with detox juices along with cold brew coffee. Make sure to use my promo code SIDELINE10 to save yourself 10% off on all of your orders. I'll make sure to put his website and that link down in the description below. But without further ado, let's get things started where if you're not on the sideline, it's not Sideline Sports Podcast. Mish, what have you been doing ever since the COVID-19 has started to build up and has really just been a very serious pandemic?
So, ever since this whole COVID-19 started and gyms been closing, a lot of my time has been dedicated to working out, but unfortunately, that has been a setback for us. But it's brought in more time to the kitchen. I'm probably there 6 days of the week. Anywhere from 6 to 7 days of the week, we're in the kitchen either doing a game planning or we're doing inventory, wherever. We're doing work to feed as many people as possible, to feed everyone in need and those who are hungry is our motto now. Ever since this happened, our meals have actually picked up because of the whole crazy lines in the grocery stores and healthy food all of a sudden being gone and wiped out. So we're here for that. We're here to provide meals, healthy options, and to skip the lines and, helping people stay home and all that good stuff.
So it's my understanding that you're doing 1,000+ meals a week?
Yeah. So 1,000+
Wow.
meals a week is the average that we've been doing. The first week of this COVID-19, we've actually we plated, sealed, and put in containers over 2,000 in one weekend.
Wow.
So that's the span of Thursday, custom meals, Friday, we did some stuff on Friday, Saturday, and then some more custom meals between Sunday and Monday. So in a span of 4 days, we were able to produce just about 2,000 meals. The
Wow.
most we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. So I'm catching you on one of your weekends right now, right? We were talking about it that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays are your weekends, right?
Yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesdays are my weekends. But even then, just like some people who work on weekends, it's getting to the point that we're only getting busier. The grind doesn't stop. People don't stop eating, so we're trying to feed as many people as possible, like we said. But we're in the kitchen essentially Thursday through Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday through Monday is we're working in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So for those of us that aren't there in the kitchen with you and cooking, how big is that staff that's in that kitchen?
Well, we do what we can to still practice, keep everything to standard, and the health conditions are now more serious than before. Gloves and masks are very minimum to what we do. We wash hands way more than often now. We try to keep a little bit of distance, even though that's hard in the kitchen. But we still do try to, practice what we preach. But there's only 6 of us in the kitchen at a time. So we are following the rules of 10 or less people. So yeah, if that
Right.
answers the question.
Mhm. So with COVID-19 going on and health being a big time thing and very important to yourself and to your whole entire staff, has your menu really changed that much?
It has. It has. It went from being a menu, a weekly rotating menu, to no menu at all. We don't have a menu. We do omakase meal prep, and omakase is a Japanese term to entrust your chef. Um, Due to our credibility and our reputation, we haven't really made anything that somebody wouldn't eat. So we brought back, our favorites, but they don't know what they're getting. So the whole concept is basically the same thing as growing up. I had to like sit back and think about how we can make this work if even the shortage of meals or proteins or whatever it is in the grocery store is out or wiped out. How can we make it work to still feed and produce 1,000 meals a week, right?
Right.
So the way I thought about it is we got to work with what we got. And growing up, I would come home from high school and either my mom or my grandma would have meals prepared or food was cooked and brought it to the table. But I had no idea, every day I had no idea what it was, right? I would come home knowing, they would always tell me going home, don't buy food, there's cooked food at home, right?
Right.
So, cool, like knowing that there's always going to be food at home, that was like, I took that for granted, but now it's like, wow, I now see and understand what they mean, and now I'm doing it as a bigger picture and feeding. We have close to 200 homes and families or people that we're feeding.
Mhm.
Yeah, so omakase basically now is like that concept where you don't know what you're gonna get, but you know it's gonna be good. We will not. So I still have that motto that I will not leave. I will not let meals leave the kitchen without if I would not personally eat them myself.
Mhm. So the last thing I saw that you posted up on Instagram was that you're thanking all of your supporters, you're thanking everybody for helping you out and reaching this journey and reaching to the destination that you're at right now, and that you've reached that and at lower prices. Is that correct? That we're now like because of the crisis that we're going through now you've modified the prices as well for so that way more customers can reach out.
Yeah, so we no longer do the $5 deal. So the $5 deal was what we did at the beginning of the year. We did have to increase the pricing because we are jumping around different stores just to find certain protein. So some stores will have. We're buying close to, let's see. Well, let's see. There's certain weeks where we're buying 400 pounds of chicken.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so I mean that's chicken alone. That's just but there's weeks where we're probably just buying 100, 200 pounds. You know,
Mhm.
so if we're buying 100 pounds and the store only carries uh let's see, like 100 pounds. So we're wiping out one store and then going on to the next. However, we don't do that. We don't go to normal grocery stores unless it's just like 5 pounds or we need 10 pounds, right?
Right.
If we buy in bulk, we have a store or we have a resource that we utilize to give us our food. That resource isn't open to the public. It's the same supplier that supplies the grocery stores. So you do have to have a sales permit or a business license to have this access. Fortunately, I have this access, and we're able to still function as a business.
Right. So that was actually going to be my next question on what are you doing because of the markets the food is very limited now. So what are you doing now? Now you just answered that question, but do you do the buying yourself, or do you send someone in the kitchen to do it, or how is that working out right now?
Right now I'm doing a lot. There are times where I'll send out someone from the team to go buy the groceries. Right now, we're trying to save as much money as possible as well. So I do a big bulk of the groceries. Sometimes a team member would go, but last minute stuff or last minute or little things here and there, I'll still go out and grab it.
Hmm. So very quickly, going back to you talking about the kitchen, what does a normal day look like for you now? Now that you have many orders coming in now on a weekly basis, daily basis, hourly basis, even to say as well. I imagine your phone is buzzing up a storm right now as we speak. But what is a normal day? What are your hours like, and what is it like?
It varies. My schedule is very sporadic. It just depends on the amount of meals. Um, some days will be 12 hours, some days will be 10 hours, some days is uh, 16. There's days we sleep in the
Oh,
kitchen.
wow.
Or yeah. Right now it's been running smooth. We're looking at anywhere from 8 to 12 hours shift.
What's up, guys? This is Mish Dominguez, NPC men's physique competitor, and you're watching Sideline Sports Podcast.
Welcome back to Sideline Sports Podcast, presented by Lean Mean Meals. I am the host, Alex Neveka, and with me today is the founder and owner of Lean Mean Meals himself, Mitch Dominguez. But I know all of you are pretty eager and dying to know about how Mish is even going through his daily routines as far as him without having a gym, without working out, and what is he doing as a substitution right now. So Mish, before we even get to what you're doing today as far as staying fit, before this whole entire COVID-19 became a pandemic, what were you working on? But when the last time you came onto the show, you were preparing for a men's physique competition. Now, it's my understanding you were trying to prepare for another show.
Yeah, I had two shows that were both canceled. So I was actually preparing for March 14th in Culver City. So March 14th was gonna happen. We found out on March 12th the show got canceled. If you only imagine 2 months of training and dieting, and you find out 2 days before your show that it's canceled. For the whole week, the entire week, everything else was shutting down and being canceled. We were hoping that it wasn't going to get canceled. They announced that it wasn't going to get canceled, but the city of Culver City ended up canceling the show. The city at that time, the city of Culver City had a limit of 50 people at any building at any time.
Wow.
There's more than 50 competitors, so there's no way that could have happened. So it put on the judges and everybody else on there. There's no way to have 50 people at a time. So they decided to cancel the show. It's not on Muscle Contest. It's on the city of Culver City. I didn't think, at that time, before this, I didn't think how serious this was. We've had people that were that stepped away from doing the competition a week out from competition because of the COVID-19. We thought that was ridiculous until what's happening now. But because that was canceled, they said that the March 28th show was going to happen. So we prepped for the March 28th, continued my diet, enjoyed a meal, had a cheat meal because of that show being canceled. I was allowed to have a cheat meal, so enjoyed myself for a day. I had dinner with the team and went back to our diet that following Monday and trained for March 28th. Soon to find out, less than a week later, all shows actually that Monday. We found out that Monday. Uh, all shows are 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 canceled. So pretty crazy.
So those are two shows being canceled for you in the same month. And, from your last show, what were some of the improvements that you were making from the last one to trying to get ready for these upcoming ones that were supposed to happen?
Oh, my improvement was size. So I don't know if you remember me doing fasted cardio. I would do cardio first thing in the morning and have my first meal after cardio.
Yeah.
I probably so throughout the whole 2 months of my last preparation, I only done fasted cardio 3 to 5 times. I didn't do cardio in the morning. I preserved everything. I made sure I had my meals in, and got my workout. And cardio was always post workout for the most part. That's one thing I did differently, and uh, that's something I did even pushing on. I just wanted to try it out, and I got confirmation with my coach and everything, and he said, yeah, it's fine. Cardio is cardio, and I was relatively already lean, so I didn't need to do a lot of fasting cardio. Plus, my schedule didn't fit it. It wouldn't work out the way, the amount of sleep I wasn't getting. If I did fasted, I would have to wake up earlier, which I was already going to bed late. It just didn't work out that well. So the hour of fasted cardio, I'd rather have that. My body was benefiting more with getting that hour of extra sleep. So that's what it did differently. But now uh, I'm still preparing myself. I am taking this. I'm still making sure that I'm relatively ready to step on stage again. So we are making the best out of the situation. I am getting more rest than ever before. Cardio is still relatively easy. Having the treadmill and all that stuff. The workouts are a little bit different now. It's not the same for being in the gym. Everything's done at home, so it's very different and very difficult with having limited equipment. I'm used to hopping different gyms and meeting new people and different equipment and different atmospheres, but being stuck is very different.
So, what did your cardio routine consist of?
When
So, right now, when you were preparing for the shows?
the recent show,
Yes.
it's just an hour upstairs post workout.
Did you ever change it up, or was it just strictly just Stairmasters itself?
The Stairmaster's very beneficial. It boosts the metabolism. It allows me to multitask. I can't be on a treadmill and do some promoting on my phone. I can post. I can do phone calls, everything on the Stairmaster. So it's made it a lot easier.
And so you were talking about a little while ago that now, because of the times today and how things are right now with gyms being closed, and now you having to make the adjustment at home, what does your workout regimen look like now?
There is no regimen now. Currently, there's no regimen. I do what I can.
So what are you working on right now? Is it just dieting? Are you still doing any like push-ups, maybe pull-ups, abs, or anything at the moment?
There's no structure to what I do as far as working out goes. It's just getting blood in there somewhere. But there's no structure to anything.
Your diet, is it more consistent and you're trying to like keep more of an eye on the diet because you're not able to work out as often,
No,
or go to gym?
my diet hasn't changed. There's no difference in my diet during competition and now. I'm actually eating more now.
So what is going to be moving forward with COVID-19 and not exactly gyms don't exactly know when they're going to reopen. They don't know when they're going to be back and opening up their doors. What are the next couple of weeks going to look like for you besides working in the kitchen?
There's no difference. There's nothing that's gonna. For as long as we know, this is all it's gonna be. So, yeah, there's nothing that's gonna be any different. Every day there's a brand new news. So we don't know what's gonna partake in the next 2 weeks. But right now, there's other than the kitchen, that's it. We're just gonna keep running and pushing out meals.
Mish, just one final question. As far as competitions are going, are they just canceled until further notice, or do they already have a date for the next one?
Yeah, they have a date for the next one. They have the dates laid out for the whole year, so. But who knows? Who knows when closer to the date it gets canceled? We don't know that.
And Mish, for all of the new viewers, for people that are not aware of how to see your content on anywhere on social media, where can everyone find you?
Through either my Instagram or Leaving Meals content. Usually both those pages have my content on there.
This episode of Sideline Sports Podcast was brought to you by Lean Mean Meals. Make sure to get your meal prep done with Mitch Dominguez today. He has you with your breakfast, your lunch, and even with your dinner. He also has detox juices along with cold brew coffee. Make sure to use my promo code Sideline10 to save yourself 10% off on all of your orders. I'll make sure to put his link to the website in the description down below. And of course, we'll make sure to put Mitch Dominguez's Instagram and all of his social media handles down below in the description and also down below here in the screen as well. And of course, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of Sideline Sports Podcast. And if you like this episode, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, because just because COVID-19 is going on, it does not mean that this Sideline Sports Podcast is going to die out. And once again, thank you so much to Mitch Dominguez for being on the show.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, Mish, take it easy. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. And of course, guys, if you're not on the sideline, it's not Sideline Sports Podcast. Have a good one and stay safe out there.